Welcome back everyone. So today we are going to build this beautiful blog post with Next.js 14, and also we are going to use Contentlayer 2 to read our Markdown file into this beautiful blog. As you can see, I also want to showing you how create this Markdown with this beautiful styling here. I'm going to showing you how to style in the heading 1, heading 2, paragraph, or basically just any Markdown content, right? So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's build the project. And the first thing what we are going to do, let's install the Next.js application. So I'm going to use new version of Next.js. So I can say npx create Next.js latest version. And then for the application name, I'm going to say Markdown blog. So let's hit enter. And then let's do TypeScript yes, Lin yes, Tailwind yes, source. I'm going to do yes. App router yes, import alias I'm gonna say no. Let's just wait for this installation done. All right, so it's done. Let's first cd into the Markdown blog folder, and from here I'm going to open into Visual Studio Code, and it will open the VS Code like this. All right, so now let's open the terminal, and we can say npm run dev to start localhost 3000. And now we should see the default template of the Next.js. So now let's open the page.tsx, and then here I'm going to remove all the main like this. I'm going to remove all of this, and then now I'm going to put a div and then heading 1, and I'm going to do Next.js plus content layer example, or maybe Contentlayer block like that. Let's see, here we go. So now let's go back to the global CSS, and I'm going to remove all the style that we don't need. All right, just leave it this Tailwind based component and utilities. Let's save. Now we should see clean background white, I believe. Cool. All right, so now what we are gonna do is I'm going to install the Contentlayer. So let's click get started. And then here, as you can see, the first thing is we already installed the Next.js. And then now we are going to install the Contentlayer and next content layer. So date FNS is just basically package for formatting a date. So let's copy all of this. And then down here, I'm going to install the Contentlayer and next content layer, and also date FNS for format the date. But as you can see, we got some warnings going on here. That is because found Next.js 14.2.7. Yeah, I believe next content layer is not compatible with this Next 14. As you can see right here, we're using the Next 14, right? It's not compatible right now. So there's a couple things that we can fix this issue. First, we can use this force or legacy peer dips, or we can downgrade the Next.js into version 12 or 13. But I still want to use this Next 14. So I found this package called Contentlayer 2. Right, as you can see, Contentlayer 2 is basically same with this content layer, but it's just on the development for now, I believe. Let's see on the GitHub, and let's scroll it down. As you can see, this is in maintain, right? So yeah, but we are going to use this. Let's copy this name here, or inside of GitHub, I think. Yeah, we can use this Contentlayer 2. Copy that, and here I'm going to do npm install Contentlayer 2, and also I'm going to install this next Contentlayer 2, right? Npm install next Contentlayer 2, and also I'm going to install the date FNS for formatting the date, right? So let's hit enter. And then hopefully now it works. Cool. As you can see, it's done and it's updated right here. Cool. And then now we can do npm run dev again. So the first thing, let's go back to the content layer, and we're using content layer 2, right? But we still can use this documentation here. All right, so first let's go to next.config.js. As you can see in our file here, Next.js give us this MJS file, but it's a little bit different, but I think it's just same. So first we need to import the with content layer and wrapping this next config inside that function. So let's do with content layer. As you can see, it's on import up here from the next content layer 2. Right, let's save, and then let's go back here and we are going to open the tsconfig. Let's go with tsconfig.json file, and then I'm gonna close this terminal. And then what we are gonna do is add this path right here. So I think we can just copy this or just typing that. Inside a path here, I'm going to add the content layer /generated. All right, copy this name and go back here, content layer generated, and we are going to paste this location here, which is on the .content layer /generated. So what we are going to do next is inside the include, we are going to add this content layer generated. So let's go back here and then add a comma and put the content layer generated. Cool. So let's go back, and then what we are going to do next is we are going to add the .content layer on the git ignore. That is because when we want to push this code here, we don't need to the file. The file will be the folder .content layer will generate it after we add this content layer config right here and add the markdown file, and we start a development server. But for now, we are going to go to git ignore and add this content layer folder right here. So now let's create the content layer.config.ts on the root of our application right here. And I'm going to do here, content layer config.ts. And then basically we can just copy and paste everything in here, and let's see what this code do basically. All right, we get some warning here. That is because we're using content layer 2 /source file, and then it's create a pose variable here and define document type, and for the name is pose, and the file pattern is MD, but I'm going to use MDX for now. It's the same. And then the field we're using title, a date, and maybe I'm going to add a summary. Summary, it should be string. I'm going to explain what is this, but for now just typing that, right? The require is true, and then the file that we need to put, the markdown file is on the post right here also, right? So let's create a post. I'm going to create a folder called post like that, and inside it here I just want to create a file called, let's do post01.mdx like that, and then I want to basically copy and paste my markdown example right here. And as you can see, everything inside this dash symbol is basically what you see on this field. So we can grab this variable, basically title, a date, and summary, but all of this for the content of the markdown, we cannot grab that as a string basically. So I'm going to show you the next example. So I think what we are going to do next is we are going to restart the server to see the .content layer folder will generate it on the root here. So let's do npm run dev. Let's see what we have here. And as you can see, the .content layer is generated, and inside the generated folder we have this post, right? And this content right here. Basically, as you can see, we have title, a date, and the summary. And the body, as you can see, the body is not just a normal string like we see on the title and date and summary. So we need to different way how to manage this body basically. Alright, so now let's see how we can render the generated Markdown with Contentlayer on the browser. So as you can see, this is the example. And then to do that, it's super simple. We just need to import the all posts and map through and render. That's it. So let's go back to the page here, .tsx. And here I'm going to first, let's just styling this a little bit. I'm going to do class name to maximal width. I'm going to do XL, and also the MX I'm going to do auto. Okay, to make it all the content, it should be on the center right here. Let's just make sure the heading one, it should be have class name called text center, like that. Okay, just add the margin vertically, I think, to make it just a little bit nice. Here we go. Cool. So down here, we are going to map through the posts. So first, we are going to grab the all posts. So here, I'm going to do cons and then posts set equals to all posts come from the content layer, just like this. So we can grab the all posts. If you console log the posts, you should see really similar like what you see on the generated post, and then this file here, title, date, summary, and the body should be have a row and HTML, and also other type here. All right, so let's take a look on the terminal, and as you can see, right, we get all the things that we see on the generated folder right here. Okay, so nice. Let's close this terminal, and then next we are going to map through the posts. So in here, I'm going to say post.map. We map through all the posts and we grab the individual posts and then set it equals to. Down here, I'm going to render another component called, let's say, function. I'm going to give a name post card, like that. This post card have a post props that have post, let's say, post type right here. And then let's do return, let's say, post card, right? So here we are going to render the postcard component, and then let's send all the posts. So let's do all the posts like that. As you can see, we get some error going on here. That's because we need to put the key. Every time we map through the array, we need to give a key, and the key I'm going to say post.id. Just like that. So now we should see postcard. Okay, so inside this post we can grab the title and the summary and the date as well. Let's do return. Let's do div with the class name margin bottom to, I'm gonna do egg, right? And then heading to, let's say class name margin bottom to 1, and also the text I'm gonna do XL. Inside the heading to, I'm going to render a link, come from the next link, and inside the link, I grab the title. So I can do post.title, just like that. And the href for the link, it should be going to post.url, right? Let's save and let's take a look what we have. As you can see, we have this. This is post 1. When I click that, it should be go to the /post/post0801. Okay, cool. Go back, and then here, let's just a little bit add the class name on this link. Let's say class name, I'm going to text to blue, let's say 700. When I hover the title, it should be changed the text to blue 900, like that. And also, let's see. Okay, cool. And then down here, down the heading 2, we are going to put the time. So let's do time, and the date time, it should be have date time with the uppercase, and then I'm going to put the post.date, like that. And then here I'm going to render the post.date. Save, and as you can see, we have this format. So that's why we install the date FNS to basically format this date format right here. Okay, so let's just remove this one. And then we're going to use a format, come from the date FNS package, like that. And then here we are we are going to use parse ISO, and then we're going to put the post.date like that. And then the format, what we are going to use is basically this one, and then D, and then year. Okay, save. And as you can see, we have March 8, 2024, which is what we typing on the post 01 right here. Okay, cool. So we have already rendered the date, which is pretty cool. So the next thing is we need to render the summary. So let's go down here. I'm going to do it p tag, and I can say post.summary, and we get the summary. So basically I zoom in right here, so I'm going to zoom out like that, right? Okay, look pretty amazing, right? Cool. So if we add another post, for example, I'm going to copy and paste this one. I'm going to rename that to, let's say, post02.mdx. Let's change this to, this is post 2. I'm going to change the date into whatever. I'm going to do 10. And then here, just leave it everything same. When I save, as you can see, it's immediately pop up right here. That's super cool. But as you can see, this is March, 8 March, and this is 10 March. We can basically sorting that on the post right here. We can do that in here. So we can use sort. So we can say dot sort like that. We can grab the A and B like that. And then here, I'm going to do compare descending, right? Come from the date FNS, and we are going to put the new date. Let's do a dot date, and then we are going to compare that with the new date, and then put the b dot date, right? Just like that. So now the newest post will be on the top, right? That look super clean. Great. But now when I click this title here, it will go to the post and then post 2, right? So we not handle this road basically. So let's, inside the app here, I'm going to create folder called post. And then inside a post, I'm going to create a dynamic road. I'm going to give a name Slack. All right, this will be dynamic. Inside a Slack, I'm going to create, Slack should be inside a post basically. Right, and then inside a Slack, I'm going to create a file called page.ts x like that. We can do rfc, hit enter. I'm going to do post page for individual posts, and then save. Let's take a look here. We should see post page on the browser. All right, so here I'm going to create the interface for the props of this post page component. So we can say interface post page props, and then here we can say params, because I'm going to grab the params. And then here I'm going to say Slack, because remember the folder that we create is Slack, so we can grab the Slack right here. The Slack, it should be have type called string. So here I'm going to grab the params like that, and then here I'm going to give a type called post page props, right? So now if I do params dot, as you can see, we have the autocomplete Slack right here. Post set equals to all posts come from the content layer, and then dot find, right? Because this Slack is basically what you see right here. It can be post 01, post 02, etc. So we are going to basically find all the posts that have the same Slack, right? So here for the individual posts, I'm going to grab the post dot underscore row dot flatten path. You can just console log this to see the value, but this is should be flatten path is basically all that you see on right here. It can be post 01, post 02, or whatever. It's basically just the name of this file mdx right here. So here, if there's equals to params dot slack, right? after we get the post right here, so down here we are going to check if the post dot it should be .body.html don't have value, right? We are going to return, let's say, what is this? I'm going to return, let's say div, and I'm going to do no post here, just like that. If we have posts, of course, we are going to render something in this return. So first on this div here, I'm going to change that into article. So let's do article like that. In this article, I'm going to add class name call padding y to 8. I'm going to do mx to auto, and also the maximal width I'm going to do let's say XL or I think, yeah, we're doing this on the page and we're doing this on the post detail. All right, so inside in this article, I'm going to put another div, and I'm going to say class name to margin bottom. I'm going to do 8, and also I'm going to add text into center. Okay, and inside this div, I'm going to put the time, and also let's put the time right here first. Post. Oh yeah, of course we need to just format the time, right? We need to just come from this format right here, or we can just copy all of that and just paste that right here, just like that. And of course the format should come from the date FNS, and the parse ISO should come from the date FNS as well. So down here, I'm gonna put the title, right? It's gonna be heading 1, and then I'm gonna put the post dot title, just like that. Now you should see the date and then also the title. And then down here, let's render the body. So as you can see on the documentation, we can basically render the body by doing this one. I'm gonna copy all of that and then paste that right here. So what is this? This is basically will, as you can see, add this dangerously set inner HTML into this post body.html. And what it's look like is, let's go back, and then it's going to be rendered on the browser like this. I also want to show you another way to render this MDX content. Let me go back to the code here. And then the first thing what we need to do, go back to contentlayer.config, and then here we are going to add the content type, and then the content type we are going to use is MDX, right? When we use MDX, when we save, this is going to be automatically change the body type. As you can see here, now we cannot grab the body.html anymore because HTML now doesn't access. All right, so of course this is not going to be works for now. So we can just remove or comment that. So now we are going to use dot code right here. All right. And then how that we can render the post dot code dot body dot code. So simple. We can use something called content set equals to, we're going to use something called get mdx component, come from the content layer / hooks right here. And then on the get mdx component, we're going to paste the post dot body dot code like that. And then we can render this code as a component down here, just like that. So now when I save, and let's zoom out 100%, I think. As you can see, we get the same thing, right? And then now I'm going to showing you how we can styling this heading 1, heading 2, this paragraph right here to make it our block look really nice. All right, so the first thing is let's create another components inside the source. I first create component called folder. Let's do components folder, and inside the components folder, I'm going to create a file called mdx-components.tsx. And here, I'm going to do rfc like that. And I'm going to change the component to mdx just like that. Let's save that. And then here, this MDX have a props call. Let's do MDX props. And then here we have code, and then the code it should be string. All right. And we can grab the props in here. We can say code, and then this code have a type MDX props. Okay. So now in here, basically, I think we can just copy this or copy all of this. All right. Go to MDX, paste that right here, and then we can render the content down here. Just like that. And import the get component and just render the code right here. And then we can import the MDX like that. Send the code. The code is going to become from the post.body.code. Okay. So it's going to be same. All right. Nothing happened. But we are going to change this. Let me close this. We are going to change this get MDX component into use MDX component. All right. When we're doing that, we can basically use component here. So I think we are going to change this name into component. Right, doesn't really matter, but I think component is fine. And then now we can send components props in here, and I'm gonna send the components object. What is the component objects basically? Yep, we're gonna create that up here. So here I'm gonna say cons components objects set equals to object like that. And then for the heading one, we're gonna styling that here. We grab all the props like that. And then we run the function and then return heading one. And then the heading one is basically self-closing tag. So we can do heading one like that. And then we can put all the props like that. And then here we can styling the heading one, right? So I just want to copy and paste my last name here to make it a little bit fast, right? We have this Tailwind class. And then we put the props right here. After we're doing that, we save. And as you can see, the title is changed. That means, let's go back to post.mdx right here. We know this is going to be heading one, right? Hashtag one is same like heading one. Hashtag two is going to be heading two. And this one is going to be p tag. All right. Okay, so all the heading one will be coming this styling right now. Cool. So let's go back here and I'm going to styling another thing. So I think I just want to copy and paste, come from the final project here. Of course, you should typing that with your own. You can post a video. As you can see for the heading 2, we add the margin top, font semi-bold and etc. here. All right. So when I save that, as you can see, bam. So now all the heading 1 will becoming like this. All the heading 2 becoming like this. All the p tag becoming like this. All right, super cool. I can go back here and click the post one, and this is gonna be post one right here. Super cool, right? Of course, if you want to see the content of the markdown here for the hashtag, what is hashtag? For the to hashtag, what is that? I think we can access a website called Markdown cheat sheet, I think. As you can see, this come from the markdownguide.org, and for the heading, we have this hashtag for heading 1, hashtag 2, heading 2, etc. And this is how we create the bold text, italic text, block quote, and the order list, unordered list, and code, horizontal line. And we have link right here, image, and etc. All right. So you can just read all of this, and then I'm going to put all the link on the description. So just don't worry about that. All right, I think we're done, right? We learned how to use this markdown into this beautiful blog post, as you can see, and also showing you how to styling that on this MDX component right here. Okay, and also if you want, maybe in the next video, we are going to learn how to use, let me see right here. I think we can use this content layer with the Notion, I believe. Oh, this one, right? So we can use Notion as a backend, so we don't need to change this every time we need to change a block, or we can add from here. So we can directly change or add or edit any blog post inside our Notion right here. Yeah, we can use something like this, and then it will automatically fetch the data from the Notion, and our blog will automatically update. All right, that's pretty cool, right? So hope this video helpful, and see you guys on the next one.